Tonight, Outbreak. Legionnaire's disease leads to a death and concern in London as health officials scramble to find the source. Plus, alleged homegrown terror averted as active members of the Canadian military are arrested after police say they were plotting to take over parts of Quebec.
That's not something we've routinely seen in this country.
The 2025 edition of Rock the Park begins. We'll take you to Harris Park live for a preview.
CTV News with Sean Irvine.
Good evening. A new health outbreak in London has led to one death and more than 40 cases. Tonight, the Middlesex London Health Unit is looking for the source of a Legionnaire's outbreak. CTV's Lauren Stallone reports for us.
A Legionnaire's outbreak has been declared by the Middlesex London Health Unit.
So far this year in 2025, we've had 43 cases of Legionella confirmed, and unfortunately we have had one person die.
The health unit says most cases live and or work in a 6-kilometer radius of one another.
Legionella can spread on the wind after it's been aerosolized, and so it is a very large area that we are looking at, about a 5-6 kilometer radius of southeast London. We do not know yet where the source is.
Health professionals say the bacteria is commonly found in warm, moist environments like hot tubs, air conditioners, and cooling tubs.
This can cause a short, self-limited illness called Pontiac fever, where people get a fever, feel unwell for a couple of days, but then get better.
The health unit says people that are older, have lung problems, or are immunocompromised are at a higher risk of serious infection. Lauren Stallone, CTV News, London.
Tenants of an apartment building in London and another one in St. Thomas may be feeling a sense of relief this evening. Their one-time absentee landlord has been tracked down and arrested by police for allegedly being the ringleader of a sophisticated grandparent scam. CTV's Brian Bicknell has more on this sordid story of days in the dark and no water from the taps.
Lighting, and then there was light, and we also have water. No problem.
Senior citizen Wendy Nichols doesn't worry about her utilities going off anymore, especially now that her former absentee landlord has been located by police.
I'm very happy about him being arrested because what right does he have to do what he did?
The rough estimate is a $2 million investment.
He is Gareth West. The self-described real estate builder is also the alleged ringleader of a grandparent scam. He was arrested last Friday in Quebec. The 38-year-old from Burlington, Ontario, was among 25 Canadians charged by U.S. authorities for allegedly defrauding seniors in Vermont and 40 other states. He had been on the run since March.
And the lies. He came to my door, lied to my face, told me he was a Christian man, tried to buy me out up there.
For tenants of 14 Holland Street in St. Thomas, the trouble began this spring when garbage stopped getting picked up. Then last month, utilities were shut off briefly until the city intervened.
That was very stressful. The hydro got shut off, the water got shut off. Even though it was only a few hours for a lot of our tenants, that was a long time.
Meanwhile, the experiences of tenants at a London apartment are all too similar to those of tenants here in St. Thomas. Utilities being cut off for periods of time and not knowing just where their rent checks are going.
They came here one day and tried to con everybody into handing them $20,000 to move out.
Tenants at 308 Egerton Street in London also had Gareth West as their landlord.
We found out about Gareth's alleged grandparent scam back in around June this year when our water heater gave out and left us without hot water for about a week and a half.
West properties in London and St. Thomas have since been taken over by mortgage company RAS. Meantime, he's being held at a detention center in Quebec pending a request for extradition to the U.S. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
Well, damage was light, but a suspected arson raised significant concerns earlier today. A charred gas meter could be seen at the back of a commercial property on the northeast corner of Highbury and Hamilton. Emergency responders were called to the area around 2 a.m. Homes along Coventry Avenue that backs onto the commercial property were evacuated. Enbridge crews were called to shut off the gas supply and assess the damage. London police have determined the fire was suspicious. Meanwhile, a morning collision involving a London transit bus has left 3 people hurt. It happened in the area of Horton Street in Colburn around 9:45 this morning. One person had to be extracted and another person was taken to hospital along with a second person. All have minor injuries.
Good evening. If you're heading out to a ball or soccer game this evening, or perhaps you're heading down to Rock the Park, it's a warm one. Temperatures are feeling like the upper 20s, even close to 30 to 31 towards Windsor and Chatham. So the humidity just slowly creeping back in. We started the day with overcast conditions, but breaking into beautiful sunshine late this afternoon, and that will carry us right through the evening. A nice calm and quiet night out there. Skies will be mainly clear as we push past about 10 o'clock. So temperature holding at about 24 degrees at 8 o'clock. Clear and calm as we push toward midnight, 18 degrees. Comfortable conditions overnight, tracking a warm front for your Wednesday. That could spark some showers with the possibility of a thunderstorm. I'll have that forecast for you coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks very much, Julie. London police have arrested a suspect following a weekend shooting in the core. Police say a man was shot early Saturday morning in the area of King and Richmond Street. He was taken to hospital with serious injuries. A 30-year-old London man facing numerous counts, including aggravated assault. The accused remains in custody. Shockwaves through the military and the Canadian public today as 2 active military members are accused of trying to start an anti-government militia. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police claims it was motivated by violent extremism. CTV's Michael Couture reports.
We know that 2 of the accused are active members of the Canadian Armed Forces. Now, police allege 3 of the 4 have been planning to create a militia. And according to the charges, the plan was to forcibly take possession of land in the Quebec City area. With 83 guns and accessories, about 11,000 rounds of ammunition, and smoke grenades, police believe the group was ready to do something serious. A search in January of 2024 also turned up 4 pairs of night vision goggles and military equipment.
The fact that we could charge with facilitating a terrorist activity, that it means that people were actually preparing, were taking actions that led us to believe that they wanted to actually achieve something and wanted to commit this violent terrorist acts.
The RCMP has charged 4 people, and the Department of National Defence confirms 2 of them are active members of the Canadian Armed Forces. Matthew Forbes faces charges related to possession of firearms. Marc-Auriel Chabot, Simon Anger Odette, and Raphaël Lagacé are all facing charges related to facilitating terrorist activity. The terrorism charges span a period between 2021 and 2024 in Montreal, Quebec City, Petawawa, and Ralston, Ontario. Lagacé's friend of 12 years is shocked at the accusation that he would be trying to create an anti-government militia. It's quite the contrary, actually. He's very pro-government, very pro-monarchy, says the friend. Police say one of the accused created and ran this Instagram account, which was a recruiting tool for new members of the militia.
As soon as they start talking about seizing land, this goes to me to, I think about some of the militias operating in the United States that set up strongholds, areas where the federal government can't go, and try to really keep out law enforcement.
The 4 accused made a brief court appearance this afternoon in Quebec City, and all of them will remain in custody until their next court date, July 14th. Mike Couture, CTV News, Ottawa.
London's much-hyped heart hub for homelessness and treating addiction is still not open. The provincially funded service was supposed to be ready on April 1st. Now the province and the operator are unable to say when the desperately needed facility will go online. CTV's Daryl Newcomb explains.
Learning from early adopters, like the City of London.
Last summer, London was credited by Health Minister Sylvia Jones with inspiring the idea for provincially funded heart hubs to treat homelessness and addiction. But London's heart hub at the Salvation Army Centre of Hope did not open this spring as planned, and it remains unknown when the hub will accept its first residents. The operator, Canadian Mental Health Association Thames Valley, tells CTV News in a statement, quote, "We are still waiting for funding confirmation to be able to move forward with hiring and having an opening date." Councillor Hadley McAllister emphasises the urgent need for heart hub services in London.
We talk a lot about health and homelessness. The healthcare component is absolutely a provincial responsibility, and we need those services online as soon as possible.
The province will spend $550 million over 4 years on 28 new heart hubs. London's $6.3 million plan includes 60 spaces inside the hub, plus an additional 60 supportive housing units. London's Heart Hub has always had an aggressive timeline for opening. Back in January, when CMHA Thames Valley was chosen as the operator, it was announced that the doors would open April 1st. But in light of the provincial election earlier this year, that date was pushed back to sometime in May. That's the last official date anyone's received. When asked about the status of funding, a spokesperson for the Minister of Health did not provide a date. Quote, "Our government is continuing to work with the remaining heart hubs, including the hub which will provide services to the London area as soon as possible."
We need as many services online as we can, whether that's rehab, mental health services, or added supports to our hospitals as well.
This is our first big step.
The Heart of Simcoe County held its soft launch at the end of June. 9 other heart hubs opened on April 1st in cities where supervised drug consumption sites were closed by the province.
We can only do so much in terms of being able to provide people kind of the basic needs, but when it comes to those higher need services, like addiction support, mental health, that's where we need the province to step in.
London continues to operate 2 low-barrier hubs initially opened as part of the local initiative known as the Whole of Community Response to Homelessness. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
Well, summer camps for future doctors, nurses, and paramedics are underway right across the region this week. CTV's Scott Miller has more from one in Goderich dubbed Discovery Healthcare.
Nathan Skin has been a paramedic in Huron County for the past 4 years. The Wingham native says living and working in his home community has been a great experience.
It's great for like commute wise and stuff, and like Huron County is like a wonderful place to work.
Today, Skin is trying to recruit the next batch of Huron County paramedics at the Discovery Healthcare Camp in Goderich. It's one of 8 such camps put on by Western University across southwestern Ontario to try and expose high school students in rural Ontario to careers in healthcare.
This is actually the biggest camp we've ever run in Goderich. So we're 26 students this year. Last year we were only 16.
Nita Unal is one of the campers. She's a local grade 9 student with an interest in helping people.
Healthcare can be pretty hard mentally and just studying too. So I wanted to see if I was really passionate about it, and I think it looks like that so far.
And that is music to organizers' ears who are trying to fill, amongst others, the current shortage of more than 20,000 nurses in Ontario. Well, maybe not as chronic or as acute as the shortage of doctors and nurses. There are not enough paramedics in Ontario. So there's a pretty sizable push on to try and fill those vacant paramedic jobs across the province. And there are more of those vacancies in rural Ontario.
The staffing issue is definitely no joke in healthcare as a whole, especially in paramedicine. We're recruiting. I think we've done 3 hires this year, and it's still not enough. So we're trying to get more. If we can even get 1 or 2 out of this, it'd be awesome. Discovery Healthcare camps wrap up in Goderich, Woodstock, St. Thomas, and Chatham this week, and start in Stratford, Hanover, Sarnia, and Windsor next week. In Goderich, Scott Miller, CTV News.
Well, still with healthcare tonight, if you've ever been lost inside one of London's hospitals, new technology at LHSC might help you find your way a bit better in the future. Here's more on the new system we got a preview of today, dubbed Maze Map.
London Health Sciences Centre, we actually have 3 campuses, University Hospital, Victoria Hospital, and then our Children's Hospital. It's measured in millions of square feet. And those campuses have been built over the years, so there's multiple sort of different different buildings are all attached together. It makes it really complicated and sometimes confusing for patients, even staff sometimes, to find their way around. Looking at the tools that we owned already, our team identified an opportunity to help people, patients, visitors, caregivers navigate through the hospital. It's one of the things that we get feedback on repeatedly, I would say, from patients. It's difficult to find your way around in the hospital. At any of our entrances into the hospital, there's signage that's posted with a 3D barcode, so you can use that to access the application on your phone. You can even download it from the App Store. And as patients or visitors come in, they can also access our guest Wi-Fi, so it's free for everybody that comes into the hospital. That allows them to have what we call blue dot technology. So if you're familiar with Google Maps or you use it in your car, shows you exactly where you are in real time. It is live now. We have launched. The response has been really, really good. So people are finding that not only does it work well, but it's also reducing anxiety for people. People travel from great distances sometimes to be at LHSC. Some people even arrive, hours early because they're concerned about being able to find their way. This gives them some confidence that they'll be able to get where they're going on time. Of course, our staff and our volunteers are still here to help people. It's not just the technology, but this is really putting something in people's hands that they can leverage to get to where they're trying to get to.
Positives of technology. Well, still ahead tonight, Rock the Park has indeed arrived, and our Nick Paparella is live at Harris Park with all the details on what to expect. We'll visit with Nick right after the break.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. CTVLondon.ca, your home for news.
Broadway in London is back. It's not just a show, it's the show, featuring Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical, the Tony Award-winning otherworldly love story, Hadestown, and so much more. Season ticket holders get the best seats at the best prices. Season tickets for the 2025-2026 season are on sale now at BroadwayInLondon.com.
One of these homes has windows designed to last. The other doesn't. Can't see the difference? A Centennial Windows and Doors specialist can show you what goes into award-winning windows and doors. Proudly made in Canada, we manufacture, install, and service every product ourselves to ensure the highest quality from start to finish. That's why we can confidently offer the best warranty, period. Right now, stack your savings with $400 off every window and door, plus additional provincial rebates. Book your Centennial specialist today at CentennialWindows.com.
I was in the market for a luxury vehicle. I'd never heard of Genesis London before and decided to give it a try.
The staff here at Genesis London has always been outstanding. One of the aspects I enjoy most is the 5-year no-charge maintenance.
When I had the service done, they dropped off a luxury courtesy vehicle for me. Stephanie also mentioned the 5-year no-charge maintenance.
It's a great vehicle. It's a great dealership. You won't be disappointed.
Experience Genesis London for yourself at 300 Southdale Road or at genesislondon.ca.
Trusted by builders and homeowners. Visit meadowroofoutlet.com.
Why wait until December for amazing deals? Boxing Week is back at Leon's. Save up to 50% on select furniture and clearance mattresses. Plus, save up to $1,000 on select appliance packages. Leon's. Now that's comfortable.
Closed captioning by Purely Wicked Apothecary in St. Thomas. From skincare and candles to crystals, tarot cards, and everything Harry Potter. You'll be sure to find something magical.
Welcome back. Well, the first of 5 nights of music has begun at Rock the Park in London. Among those in the crowd tonight, of course, our own Nick Paparella, who joins us live with some guests from Harris Park. Off to you, my friend, Nick.
Hey, Sean, festival season is underway in London, and this week we have the 21st edition of Rock the Park. I'm joined by the founder, Brad Jones, as well as the #1 morning crew from Virgin Radio, backstage band KP and Jeff, and tell us backstage. I know the headliner tonight is Hozier, but you're looking forward to seeing someone else.
As much as I love to see that Irish heritage of mine up on stage with Hozier, I also love to see some Canadian heroes. Mariana Trench with new music just last year. They've got all the old classics and new stuff we're going to love tonight. So awesome to see them, and I think a lot of the crowd is here to see them too.
And KP, you want to see Hozier?
Hozier, I'm so excited. You know, he plays these massive venues worldwide. He's got such star power, so you know the energy it's going to be there. And it really is the star power of Rock the Park that got him here. So we're so excited. And don't forget, he did have the Song of the Summer last year with Too Sweet, so we're all going to be collectively belting that one out. It's going to be great.
All right. And Jeff, you've been a part of this party here downtown for many, many years. It's always a fun time.
Year 13 for me and for Virgin Radio. The experience for concert goers, you can't beat it. Easy in and out. We see growth with the amenities and the options, whether it be food, merch. There's just so much to see and do, and a perfect backdrop with the newly minted Harris Park. So we're really excited for this year.
Good, good. And the founder, Brad Jones and Jonesy, this year for the first year. This is the little festival, the little music festival that could. It's just started with a couple of days back, all those 21 years ago with Alice Cooper and Styx. Now it's 5 days.
Yeah, it's hard to believe 21 years later, and you were there with Alice Cooper and Styx, and here we are on a Tuesday night. And as KP said, when you get a chance to do an act like Hozier that plays stadiums 2 weeks ago, multiple nights at Fenway Park, and to have them in our little park in downtown London, we're really proud what we've built with the Rock the Park name and brand, and we're really proud that it's one of the main community events with Sunfest and the Air Show. We're here for 5 nights, and we've got great acts, as the gang said about tonight. 10,000 people. Tomorrow we've got Red Clay Strays, Wyatt Flores, amazing, very Americana folk, very cutting edge. Some say, you know, the lead singer is the next Elvis. I mean, it's super, super impressive acts. Thursday night we have Kygo, Two Friends, dance night, again with our friends Virgin. Sales are great for that night. And Friday night, heavy metal with Bad Omens, a great U.S. act, and some great, No Exceptions is a London-based rock act that's going to start the night off. And then finish it Saturday night with Lee Bryce and 6 great country acts with our friends at Pure. And, you know, we're expecting close to 40,000 people over the 5 days. We got great weather. You know, the weather gods look like they're going to be good to us for the next week. And tickets are still available, you know, so you can
tell us about that. Some are still available tonight, but the rest of the week as well. What can people do if they want to?
Go on rockthepark.ca, go online, purchase tickets, come down here. Full box office can sell you tickets as well. We're close to a capacity crowd tonight, as I said, and Saturday tickets we're really close to selling out as well. So, but again, tickets still available. Come down, enjoy the party. As the gang said, we're just really proud of everybody, and we've raised millions and millions for charity. So yes, it's a business for our family, and it's a great thing for tourism for London, Ontario, but there's a real great charitable component to it that we're really proud of.
Good, good. And you should be very proud. Thank you very much. Okay, Brad Jones, Backstage Band, KP, and Jeffrey. They're all here to party. Sean, the party is going on right here at Harris Park in downtown London.
Indeed, Rock the Park is on the minds of many, Julie, no doubt about it, as we head into the big week ahead. And some folks are looking for a positive forecast to enjoy all the shows upcoming over the next several days.
Yeah, well, tonight, of course, as you know, looking absolutely beautiful. It's going to be a gorgeous evening down there. Wednesday may be a little bit tricky. We could see a few showers with the possibility of a thunderstorm, but it was an awesome beach day today. Look at how many people out enjoying the beautiful conditions, the water nice and calm. You can see beautiful blue sky. Now, we did start the day with a few clouds and a little bit of mist at times. That was that low cloud that we were waiting to break up. It did, and the temperatures climbing into the mid-20s. Satellite radar is showing the clear conditions across southern Ontario. Perfect evening across the area, and really just some gorgeous weather as we head outdoors this evening. We do have a next low pressure system with a warm front. So that cold front that came through yesterday, I mentioned it stalling, so that's where it is right now, and then lifting north as a warm front. That's as we head into the day tomorrow, introducing a probability of showers. We have the chance for a little bit of light rainfall first thing in the morning, and then we could see a thunderstorm develop in the afternoon. Looks to be quite scattered in nature, so not everyone's going to see storms through the day tomorrow, but just be prepared. There will be a couple rounds. As we look across Canada, we have some heat building now in Western Canada, Calgary at 29, 25 in Regina. Still some air quality issues due to forest fire smoke in the northern part of the Prairie provinces. 18 in Thunder Bay, and then then the GTA starting to heat up as well. Cooler today toward the Maritimes after some heat over the past couple of days. Temperatures overnight, nice and comfortable, 16 degrees in most areas if you're along the lakeshore, 19. And if you're near Lake Erie overnight, 19 to 20 degrees. So watch through tomorrow morning. This little wave comes in first thing. It doesn't last too long. You could just see a little bit of light rainfall and then mainly cloudy with some sunny breaks. And then by the afternoon, things start to get a little bit dicey. So you can see a few little pop-up showers and some thunderstorms. So this is tomorrow evening at 6. So if you are heading to Rock the Park, just be prepared. We could see a little bit of shower action anywhere between about 4 and 6:30 p.m. Looks to clear out, though, quite nicely as we head into late Wednesday evening, back into partly cloudy conditions. Temperatures, you'll notice, over the next couple of days, slowly starting to creep up there as well. So you'll notice the humidity through the day tomorrow. It'll start to feel like the mid-30s once again. Forecast high coming in at 25 degrees. Possibility of a thunderstorm. Our Metal Roof Outlet forecast as we head into your Thursday. Back into a mix of sun and cloud if you are heading out and about in the next couple of days. Thursday into Friday looking beautiful, 29. Saturday increasing cloud cover, and then Saturday night a 60% chance of rain. But that looks to be after sunset. Mix of sun and cloud on Sunday. Monday and into Tuesday, daytime highs. We're feeling that July heat. It's beautiful out there, especially if you like it quite warm. The humidity has been quite tolerable, rather, and comfortable. It will be creeping up in the coming days. 26 degrees on Thursday. A mix of sun and cloud into Friday with some scattered showers in the forecast for tomorrow. The weekend, chance of showers both Saturday and Sunday as we head toward Grey and Bruce County. Huron and Perth, your probability is a bit lower at about a 30% chance, but we will pick up some rain Saturday night into Sunday. It looks like right across southwestern Ontario. That's a wrap on your forecast. Sean, back to you.
All right, thank you, Julie. Well, still ahead tonight, how the pandemic stripped an entire generation of the informal job skills required to navigate the workplace.
Hello, we are back from vacation, and here's the deal. If you want to be on a permanent vacation, we've got a solution for you.
We certainly do. At 7:10, the new time for Prize Town, we have a $100 OLG voucher up for grabs all week.
I got a text.
They say you never forget your first love.
You want to see my crib?
We are back, baby.
I want to have a hot girl summer, but I've been talking to this guy.
Stop.
I know.
This one you made out with in a porta potty?
Yeah.
I told you I wanted us to live together.
I wanted separation from you.
Ugh. I'm having a miserable time. I'm so done. I don't want to do this.
Love Island Beyond the Villa, Sunday, July 13th on Crave.
So I got third-degree frostbite when I was 18 years old, and ultimately I ended up getting diagnosed with arthritis. When I was trying to golf, I had troubles gripping a club. They started to hurt, specifically in the joints that were damaged. I wear my Digis every day. They've helped me improve my game, actually, because when I swing, I'm not worried about how much my fingers are going to hurt now. I am thrilled to death with the Digis. I can't tell you how it's improved my life since I've got them.
Broadway in London is back. It's not just a show, it's the show, featuring Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical, the Tony Award-winning otherworldly love story, Hadestown, and so much more. Season ticket holders get the best seats at the best prices. Season tickets for the 2025-2026 season are on sale now at BroadwayInLondon.com.
Well, Donald Trump threatened more tariffs today. The U.S. president has floated the idea of a 200% tax on pharmaceuticals and semiconductors. And there's another measure that could be an economic blow to the nation. Donald Trump has announced a significant tariff on imported copper.
Today we're doing copper.
Copper, what would that tariff be on? The sectional tariff?
I believe the tariff on copper, we're going to make it 50%.
The U.S. accounts for approximately 52% of Canada's copper exports, valued at $9.3 billion. Trump did not say when those tariffs would take effect. The trend of many Canadians deciding to avoid U.S. travel continues, even as we enter the busy summer vacation season. Many travel agencies say they've seen an increase in domestic bookings and a spike in searches for homegrown adventures. Pat Foran has more.
Whether it's to visit Disney World, the Grand Canyon, or the Las Vegas Strip, more than 1 million Canadians used to travel to the U.S. every month, but not anymore. Travel companies have seen big changes in vacation plans that show many Canadians plan to explore their own country this year.
We're seeing a lot of domestic travel happen among Canadians this year.
Kayak, the travel website that compares flights, hotels, and rental cars, says there has been a 25% increase in domestic flight searches, and 55% of car rental searches are now domestic. Whether it's hiking the West Coast trails, stopping by Calgary for the Stampede, taking in the beauty of Banff or the Cabot Trail, many Canadians are deciding to take a domestic holiday this summer, and there are deals to be found.
Domestic flight prices are down about 8%. So if you're flying, good news for you. But rental cars also. So if you're staying domestic, rental cars are down about 14% this year.
Kayak says return flights to many cities in Canada can be booked within the $300 range. Many families are also expected to take road trips visiting Canadian attractions by car.
There seems to be this renewed interest in really sort of like exploring Canada and really supporting our own backyard.
Flight Centre has also noticed an uptick in domestic travel interest and says bookings to the United States saw a 58% decrease in May over the same period last year. While many travelers don't want to cross the U.S. border, travel to Europe remains a favorite for many Canadians.
Overall, Europe is holding very strong. It has not slowed down at all. Our top 3 destinations for the summer are London, Paris, and Dublin.
It's unclear if these travel trends will continue, but if trade tensions remain with the U.S., they could. And travel companies say the boost of domestic travel within Canada should be good for tourism and many Canadian businesses. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Well, TikTok is pulling sponsorships for several Canadian art institutions, including the Juno Awards and the Toronto International Film Festival. The move comes as the platform is complying with a federal order to shut down its Canadian operations. In the U.S., TikTok is reportedly working on a new version of its popular sharing app ahead of a major sale to a group of American investors. The change would potentially sever the app's connection to China by using a different algorithm, offering a new user experience. Members of Generation Z are said to be lacking so-called soft skills in the workplace. The claim comes as many of them adjust to career life. Your CTV's Vanessa Wright.
The pandemic is fading, but its impacts are proving to be long-lasting, particularly when it comes to the underdeveloped social skills of Gen Z, as the expectation to move from online to in-person became a reality.
Did you struggle with the social skills once everything returned back to normal?
Yes, I struggled a little bit. Even though I knew people before, it was like strange to come and talk to them.
Clinical psychologist Dr. Simon Sherry says the effects felt by Gen Z, people born between 1997 and 2012, have much to do with the restrictions that were in place during COVID.
They were exposed to prolonged remote learning. On top of that, they're a generation very much involved in screens, which doesn't promote your social and emotional competencies in real time.
As a result, etiquette specialist Julie Blake-Homo says important soft skills like a strong handshake were never taught or adapted. Same thing goes for social skills outside the workplace.
Dining etiquette, a lot of them find themselves at a power business lunch or breakfast or dinner, and they're paralyzed because they don't know, is that my bread plate? Is it okay to clink wine glasses? How do I say no if I don't want to have a drink?
So how can you tell if you may be in need of workplace etiquette?
If after an event, a meeting, you're constantly thinking back, oh, yeah, that wasn't great, eh? I wish I would have known better. I wish I would do better.
Como says her Gen Z clients have expressed a willingness to learn.
And I do believe that the soft skills, that the etiquette will help all, not only Gen Z employees, but all of us live happily at work.
It's going to be difficult and a little stressing, but the more we'll do it, the more it's going to be easy and normal to us.
Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
Well, after more than 100 years in production, the company behind one of, well, my favorite chocolate bars, Jersey Milk, says the bar is being discontinued. The bar is first developed by dairy brand William Nelson in 1924 and only produced here in our nation. But production has fallen under an international group after a series of acquisitions. The company says the decision to drop the Jersey Milk bar was the result of a drop in demand. However, the company confirmed the move will not result in any job losses. Well, Canada's main stock index was weighed down today by losses in the basic materials sector. In Toronto, the TSX lost 117 points. In New York, the Dow off 165, but the Nasdaq gained 6. The Canadian dollar dropped a tenth of a cent today. And on commodity markets, gold fell almost $26 an ounce and oil gained 40 cents a barrel. Well, concentration may be the key to athletic success, but later on CTV News, we'll explain why Cowboys at the Calgary Stampede are struggling to maintain focus.
There's a reason it's called the gold standard. For over 5,000 years, gold has held its buying power. If you're concerned that your hard-earned dollars are being chipped away by fees or erased by the markets, consider converting some wealth into bullion at London Gold Buyer. Let our experts help you diversify your wealth into something solid. At London Gold Buyer, our pricing is always fair and transparent. Carry your wealth into the future with confidence. London Gold Buyer. Secure, private, professional.
Let me introduce you to our most popular SUV, the 2025 Nissan Rogue. Whatever you're up to, it's the perfect size for all. Families, seniors, or singles. Loaded up with the latest technology and safety features like advanced all-wheel drive. And with great rates and incentives, it's more affordable than you would think.
Finance a 2025 Rogue with rates from 0% during the Nissan Now sales event. 1111 Oxford Street East, London.
Hyde Park BIA. Shop, eat, work, and play. Plato's Closet offers a huge selection of affordable, trendy looks for teens and young adults, and we pay cash for your gently used clothes and accessories. Visit our website and socials for more.
Shop, eat, work, and play.
Windsor Beauty Supply offers clip-in hair extensions, top-notch Canadian products, barbery for men, and courses for hairstylists and barbers. We are beauty and beyond.
Shop, eat, work, and play in Uptown London.
So glad you're here. Since 1975, more than 1 million Canadians have come to see a show at the Blythe Festival. Canadian costumes, Canadian directors, Canadian actors, Canadian stories. Every word spoken on our stage was written by a Canadian writer. The Blythe Festival, original Canadian theatre. Come be a part of it.
Canada's source for everything entertainment.
My favorite interview all day.
E-Talk, weeknights on CTV and Crave.
Amazon facing increasing scrutiny over its business practices in Canada. The Competition Bureau has received approval to investigate if Amazon is breaking the Competition Act. CTV's Judy Trin reports.
Amazon currently controls 40% of the online market. It's a retail giant that dominates e-commerce. The Competition Bureau is mainly concerned with the company's fair price policy, which it introduced in 2017, and whether or not Amazon is using that policy to abuse its dominant position. The Competition Bureau has obtained a court order to compel the e-commerce giant to hand over records and information so it can investigate 3 questions. 1, does Amazon charge higher fees to sellers, forcing them to pass on the cost to customers? Secondly, does it prevent sellers from offering lower prices on competing sites? And third, does its actions lessen competition overall in the online marketplace?
Those documents will give the Competition Bureau visibility into how Amazon operates and if there are any incriminating conversations or incriminating exchanges within its teams or between its teams and its stakeholders on limiting competition, driving prices up, all of the things that the Bureau wants to investigate.
Although the Competition Bureau is investigating, at this point, it's not alleging any misconduct. As for Amazon, it says it's focused on providing customers access to the products they want at low prices. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Well, big cuts could be coming to the federal government. Prime Minister Mark Carney has asked his cabinet to find savings by the end of summer. The Carney government will table its first budget this fall, and it's already facing steep criticism for some spending promises, including its increased NATO defense commitments. CTV News has learned the ministers have been tasked with tightening their belts and finding 7.5% in savings for this fiscal year. The PM then wants those savings to increase to 10% in 2027 and 15% the year after that. Two independent MLAs say work has started to relaunch the Progressive Conservative Party in Alberta. The independent MLAs, Peter Guthrie and Scott Sinclair, say they need to collect 8,900 signatures in order to register with the party's Elections Alberta. They hope to do so by November 27th. The PC party long dominated provincial politics in Alberta, but it dissolved in 2017 when it merged with the Wild Rose Party to form the UCP. Guthrie and Sinclair, who were both removed from the UCP, say the party will be for people who no longer can support the UCP. A tragic mid-air collision southeast of Winnipeg this morning has left 2 people dead.
The 2 pilots were pronounced deceased on scene. There were no passengers aboard.
Emergency crews found the wreckage of the 2 small aircraft near a landing strip south of Steinbach. The owner of the Manitoba Flight School says the students were student pilots attempting to land their planes at the same time. Dozens of deaf athletes are risking missing Olympic-style competitions in Tokyo. CTV's Beth McDonnell has more on the funding gaps they're hoping to get addressed.
Russell Bowie's passion for golf has led to serious success. Bowie is hard of hearing and has been wearing hearing aids since he was a toddler. He's also the current world deaf golf champion and was a silver medalist at the last Deaf Olympics in Brazil.
It was an amazing experience, and finishing a podium and doing well, and was just it was something I'll never forget. But obviously this time there's one more spot, there's one better spot to get.
The next Deaf Olympics are in November, and this time Bowie hopes to bring home gold. But those dreams could be over for him and close to 50 other hard of hearing and deaf athletes set to travel for the competition if the Canadian Deaf Sports Association doesn't raise enough money.
It would just be a big loss mentally, emotionally, and also just a lot of money has been spent preparing up to this point as well. So to have all that just go away and nothing to show for it would be a shame.
The association says it's trying to raise $100,000, but so far only has $30,000. While Canada has been sending athletes to the Deaf Olympics since the 1960s, it says the cost of living has risen significantly and traveling to Japan is very expensive. And it's calling on Canadians to help send this year's contingent.
And then now the recent development of maybe a funding shortfall is definitely not something you wanted to be thinking about.
Bowie says there's been a lot of excitement to represent Canada in Japan, and he and other athletes will be devastated if they can't go.
Just a really neat, cool, enriching opportunity that, for all of us going, it's something that, we love doing, and we do everything we can to be a part of these competitions.
Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
Tomorrow, a young prospect from Wingham is ready to step up to the plate and has his sights set on a future in Major League Baseball. That's tomorrow on CTV News at 6.
Bathfitter knows what you're looking for. The perfect style for your bath remodel with the look of tile you want. New textures, shapes, and styles. Works with your budget with no messy grout to clean. Quality and beauty that lasts, backed by a lifetime warranty. And with new designs, now there's even more to love. Time to set a date. It just fits.
Our friendly professional team delivers quality renovations
and a spotless cleanup.
Call a bath fitter today.
For the best roof you can get, go to Metal Roof Outlet.
From selection to installation, visit metalroofoutlet.com.
Hi, I'm Renee with Jennings Furniture and Design. Right now, we have huge savings on floor models throughout the entire store during our 140th anniversary sale. Shop these one-of-a-kind items tariff-free at prices never to be seen again. Selected items throughout the store for the entire home: living, dining, bedroom, accessories, and linens. There's free 2-hour parking behind the store. Jennings Furniture and Design in downtown St. Thomas. It's time to love where you live.
1-800-GOT-JUNK is always just around the corner waiting for your call. We come when it's convenient for you, not when it's convenient for us. When you want junk to disappear, all you have to do is point. We make space for possibilities.
Canada's #1 series returns.
Let's go, Oh my God, you got this!
More twists.
This is a new development. You got this.
More turns.
Let's go, let's go. Come on.
More challenges.
Welcome to Amazing Race Canada. This is awesome!
A new season of The Amazing Race Canada. Tonight at 9 on CTV. Stream tomorrow on Crave.
Closed captioning by Purely Wicked Apothecary in St. Thomas. From skincare and candles to crystals, tarot cards, and everything Harry Potter. You'll be sure to find something magical.
A warm front lifts in Wednesday with the risk of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Lots of sunshine in the extended forecast, and temperatures are set to climb into the upper 20s as we head into the weekend. Thanks, Deb, for this photo taken at Komoka Ponds.
Nice one. Well, families in Texas are getting those devastating news now that some of their loved ones did not survive and are among the more than 100 people now confirmed dead in that horrible flooding there. We're hearing stories of heroism and also the challenging circumstances in which rescuers are working. But as CTV's Adrian Gobriel reports, there is also accountability issues being raised.
There's people in it. Oh my God, there's so many people in it.
This video from Camp La Junta shows a cabin ripped from its foundation, floating down the Guadalupe River. Attending the camp, brothers Braden and Brock Davis, who credit their counselors with saving their lives.
Our bed started tipping over, and like we got to the top really quick.
I want my world to know the Lord of love has come to me.
As campers sing a hymn, a passenger on board this evacuation bus realizes the level of devastation.
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
These young girls were rescued from Camp Mystic, where more than 24 have been confirmed dead. The National Weather Service issued their first public warning at 1:14 a.m. on the 4th of July. The Kerr County Sheriff admitting that he wasn't aware of the fast approaching surge until at least 3 hours later.
When I was first notified, it was around the 4 to 5 area. One of my sergeants was in dispatch when the first calls started coming in, the actual 911 calls come in.
Though officials today declined to answer whether a local emergency manager notified authorities of the incoming flash flood.
We will get answers. Right now, all of our resources are focused to recovery.
With the chance of any further rescues fading with each passing hour, hope in Central Texas is turning to heartache over the precious lives swept away. During a cabinet meeting today, President Donald Trump praised the quick deployment of state and federal rescue crews, saying that without them, the number of dead could have doubled or even tripled. Trump confirming that he will be traveling to survey the natural disaster zone in Texas this Friday. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Washington.
Well, more than 60 athletes competing in the Calgary Stampede rodeo are from Texas, and as Glenn Campbell reports, they're keeping a close eye on what's going on back home.
Ty Harris is on fuego!
Ty Harris got off to a great start in tie-down roping. He had the best time of the day. As nice as it was to win, Harris couldn't help but think of what's going on back home in Texas. He's from San Angelo, which wasn't the hardest hit, but has some flooding.
I'm obviously really thankful that my family is safe, from everything, but that hits home. There's rodeo families that have been affected by it and different people in Texas that have been affected by it.
Harris earned $7,000 for his work on Monday, and he'd like to do something to help the victims.
I always tithe 10% of what I win, whether it's 10% of what I win to I don't know if there's going to be a foundation or a GoFundMe or a I really don't know what's going on yet, but it was on my mind coming up here.
Ty's brother Joel is also competing in tie-down roping. He says there's been some damage in San Angelo, but not nearly as badly hit as some other areas. He says it's been tough watching what's going on back home.
It just affects you emotionally, and you realize that it's not, this isn't the most important thing, coming out here and competing. As important as we do make it, as fun as it is, it really puts into perspective that people are going through a really hard time, and we have friends that have had flooding in their house, and I know that a lot of lives have been lost.
63 athletes from Texas are competing in this year's Stampede rodeo. It's a close-knit community, and they're always there to support each other and people in the affected area. Breakaway roper Jordan Joe Hollabaugh lives in Fort Worth, Texas.
Rodeo is one of the few sports that it doesn't matter if you're blood or not. When something goes on in the rodeo family, we're all hands on deck trying to help and be supportive and where we can.
Glenn Campbell, CTV Sports, Calgary.
London's top stories.
We have breaking news tonight out of Ottawa. The latest in the
breaking news alerts.
I'm tracking an area of severe weather. It'll start.
And watch live.
A development now to a story from City Hall we brought you.
Download the CTV News app.
I love being active and spending time with my family. I value my independence, but I worry about what could happen in an emergency.
GoSafe works everywhere with location technology to find you quickly, featuring two-way voice communication right through the button. It also features auto alert technology so it can call for help even if you can't push the button.
With GoSafe, I can live my life to the fullest, knowing I can get help whenever I need it, wherever I am.
For 55 years, Conway Furniture has been Southwestern Ontario's source for quality furniture, mattresses, and flooring. Visit our spacious and tastefully decorated showroom for today's trends and colors. Rest test a recliner or luxury mattress and get ideas for your home. Our staff is there to help with your projects from custom upholstery to custom flooring. Start your shopping online at conwayfurniture.com, but don't miss a visit to Conway Furniture, Line 86, just east of Listowel.
Support local on Hamilton Road.
Douglas Window and Door provides quality products, competitive pricing, expert installation, and unparalleled customer service. Jim Dean Law is dedicated to providing exceptional legal representation with a focus on criminal law, wills, and estate planning. Chiropractic, massage, laser therapy, and more. 40 years helping Londoners move better, feel better. London Chiropractic and Massage.
Find everything you need along Hamilton Road.
Not all basement issues look like this. Dampness and high humidity can wreak havoc in your basement. Advanced Basement has simple yet effective solutions to help you solve these frustrating issues. Visit us online or call us today to book your free estimate.
Leeds is very human-oriented. They don't push you to race to get a job. They make sure to take time with you and to really look for what you would like to do. Let Leeds work for you.
August 2022, I tried to end my life.
I overdosed while driving on the highway and almost died.
I had extreme anxiety and depression.
I called Metamorphosis because I was ready.
And I'm just very thankful I was put in Metamorphosis.
I remember walking through the door, not knowing what to expect. There is hope for a better life.
Metamorphosis really helped my mom. If she didn't come here, I don't know what would have happened to her. I might not even have a mom.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, the Blue Jays will be looking for their 10th straight win when they continue their series with the White Sox this evening. The team's winning ways are inspiring a younger generation of fans to follow Canada's ball club. Here's CTV's Sean Leathon.
At True North Baseball Camp on the Diamonds at Bond Park, young players are working on their game and talking about how the hometown Toronto Blue Jays have now won 9 games in a row.
They just have the strength and power to win.
They're hitting more home runs than last year. They just have like the right pitching staff and everyone's contributing.
I think it's incredible and I'm not really sure how it's happening, to be honest.
And Barger hits a fly ball to deep right field.
With an 8-4 win over the Chicago White Sox last night, the Blue Jays have now extended their lead in the American League East, now sitting 3.5 games ahead of the New York Yankees. Manager John Schneider is saying confidence is high because everyone is pitching in.
When you're confident in everyone in the lineup behind you to kind of just do their part, which is what they're continuing to do, it's a real good feeling.
What may be more remarkable is this team was 2 games under 500 back on May 28th before turning the corner.
Everyone's just coming together, playing a full game, and we're getting a lot out of people who aren't just stars.
And many of these young players say they're inspired by the hard work of certain Blue Jays.
Barger. Yeah, Barger and Springer. And Loperfita. I think we've seen a lot out of Ernie Clement, more than we expected, and I'm very happy to see that Kirk has gotten back to the all-star that he was.
The longest win streak in Blue Jays history is 11 games, which they accomplished twice in 2015, once in 2014, 1998, and 1987. It's been 9 years since the Blue Jays fans have seen their team win a playoff series. So what do these players think this team can do?
Winning the World Series.
They might have a chance this year, probably not.
I'm really excited. It's just a great feeling for playoff baseball to come to Toronto.
I think the World Series will be calling our name, and there'll be another championship parade in Toronto.
So while these future players practice for tomorrow, they say for the Blue Jays, the time is now.
Shatlin Thong, CTV News.
Well, a couple in Edmonton have just finished building a one-of-a-kind miniature model with several difficult yet, well, rather tasty pieces. CTV's Connor Hogg has this love story made out of gingerbread.
We need some popcorn, don't we? Matt Intihar and Sheila Guevara are spending some quality time relaxing together. The couple often spends their time in a more unique way by making gingerbread houses.
Both of us inspired each other in doing a project because he's good at what I am not.
The pair was in a local bake shop when they saw a gingerbread castle built by the baker.
We thought, geez, that would be pretty neat if we could build something like that. I don't know if we're up to it, but we could give it a try.
Their first house was simple, so they decided to go bigger. At first, they planned to build a replica of the White House. They ultimately selected the Alberta legislature as their subject. Close to home and easier to research in person.
As time went on, we thought, hey, we can do this or we could add that on, and so slowly it became a bit more detailed as time went on.
Intihar and Guevara worked on their ginger ledge together and separately when their shift work schedules didn't allow for time together.
He come home, I'm sleeping, or I come home, he's sleeping. But I see, when I come home, I see something that he did. I'm like, oh, cool, I can do this.
After 6 months of gingerbread and marzipan, plus painstaking research, baking, sculpting, and resculpting, this is the result.
We managed to finish it, and we're pretty happy with how it looks. I mean, like I say, we're not professional bakers or anything.
I could have not done it by myself.
The happy couple are in the process of finding a place to display their work and also sharing what they learned about each other in the process.
He sits right there and he's just doing this little thing and little thing. It's kind of, looking at him, it's very heartwarming, and he's very graceful doing that, and it makes me push myself harder too.
I guess this kind of thing could pull people apart. Maybe they'd get fed up with each other, but I think for us it did. I think it did bring us together.
Yeah.
Two people who have found extra sweetness in their lives together. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
That tasty art wraps it up for us. For all your local updates, you can always head to our website. Our next newscast is at 11 p.m. from all of us at CTV News, including the crew behind me tonight. Thanks so much for watching. Good night.